Folks, welcome to the RiB. I'm Will Scoville and I'm your host, and today we're going to dive deep. Did you see that? I'm messing up already. This is funny. We're going to dive deep into the bowels of the mainstream madness. Folks, and we're going to kind of let me turn this down here. Boom. Here we go. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So this is my first RiB live. And if you check out our channel, I've done a few ribs in the past. RiB meaning it's not like the wrestling term rib where I'm playing a prank on you. It's not a practical joke. This is a show about us going on a journey, trying to figure out what's going on in the mainstream. And if you've noticed, there's a lot going on in the mainstream. Matter of fact, I mean, when you go to any news site, if you go to, you get your news from Yahoo News, or if you go to maybe MSNBC, Fox, CNN, wherever, there's a lot going on. And a lot of it is very sensationalized. It's nonsense for the most part. It's there to like elicit a reaction out of you, to get you all revved up, wound up, and that sort of thing. It's meant to, I don't know, to get you kind of freaked out. I mean, a lot of people are freaked out these days. It's kind of weird, whether it be news on the Ukraine, a beer company, or whatever, or even sports, the issues in sports, and the different things that are happening there. But there's a lot of just strange things going on, like really strange. And there's a reason for it. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for it. You have, oh gosh, how can I put this kindly? You have a mental deficient, what is it? I would have to say it's more like a movement, activist movement going on called WOKEISM, being woke. And it's heavily influenced a lot of corporations on how they do business. It's made them so. It's made it so there's a lot of people that hate what's going on, and it makes it tough. The beer commercial, that everybody's talking about these days with Bud Light, and that's really got folks divided, right? Here's the thing, when it comes to what you do in life, especially in the workplace, though, well, yeah, I don't know if I should go there. Maybe I'll get this show will get like deleted like right off the bat if I start going to these places. But they talk about diversity in the workplace, and that's great. Diversity meaning like, if I'm doing a job as an accountant, or I'm doing a job as a ditch digger or whatever, if I'm maybe a plumber or a construction worker, whatever, and I go and do these jobs, that's bringing like a diverse skill set to the table, right? And that's a good thing. But what you do in your own bedroom or whatever things you like to do on your personal time, that's your business. And in my view, I think you should keep that out of the workplace. That doesn't add anything really to what's going on at work. I mean, you're there to do a job. You're there to get things done for whatever company you're working for. And it's pretty much irrelevant what you do at home, right? So when people try to bring those things into the workplace, it makes it uncomfortable for some. I mean, some people might be into what they're doing or whatever, what they got going on, but a lot of people might not be, so it creates kind of like a tension in the workplace, and it's not a good thing. It's not positive. That's, when it comes to diverse backgrounds, that's not, it's not helpful. It's a different type of diversity that is unproductive in the workplace, right? You're there to do a job. You're there to grind. You're there to do amazing things for the company that you work for. So Yeah, I think what you do at home, what your business is at home, I think it's a good idea to keep it there. So when they talk about like religion and things like that in the work, yeah, that's you're there to do a job. When you go home, you can do what you want there. You can pray, you can, do whatever, But at the job, you just need to do your damn job. Stop screwing around. Stop bringing your bullshit to the workplace. But I mean, what is workism? Wokeism. Workism is when you pretend you're working. But wokeism. Let's take a look here. Let me move some things around, shuffle some stuff here, because I need to maybe explain to you what wokeism is in case you didn't know. Most of you do know what it is, but some of you don't. Let's see here. So, wokeism. Let me see. Let's go down here. Let's take a look. All the way down. So the concept of wokeness in relation to corporations is a controversial and often politicized topic, and its impact on a corporation's financial performance is not clear-cut. Really. However, there are a few potential ways that corporations could lose money after embracing social and political causes that are perceived as woke. And like I just said a minute ago, when you're bringing your activism, you're bringing your way of life or whatever into the workplace, it's not helping anyone. It's not making things better at work. It's not making things better for anything. I understand that when you're passionate about something, you get excited. You're like pumped up. Ooh, I'm doing this, and I want everyone else to do it too. I want people to accept what I'm doing. I'm into it, so everybody else needs to be into it. If they don't, I'm going to be mad at them. I'm going to cancel them. I'm going to see if I can get them in trouble. I'm going to do all kinds of things. It's not good for anyone. Once again, at work, just do your fucking job. Just do your damn job, right? Sorry, I get passionate about stuff. So if you hear me cuss from time to time, that's just how I talk. So you just have to deal with it and be a grown-up. First, there may be a risk of alienating some customers or stakeholders who do not share the same views as a corporation. Correct. That happens every time, right? This could lead to a decline in sales, as some customers may choose to take their business elsewhere or boycott the company. Right. Exactly. And that's what happens. What you want here's a thing to help combat this type of deal. If a company supports an agenda that you don't agree with, that you don't like, boycott it, don't buy their product, whatever. That's a great way to combat it, because at the end of the day, these corporations are there to make money for the most part. Obviously, you have different activists that are members of these or work at these corporations. They're trying to push their agendas and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you vote with your wallet or your pocketbook, then you can make a pretty big impact on these companies and corporations and what they are putting out there, right? So we've seen it in the past where people were upset with like Chick-fil-A, right? Because I guess they're more of a conservative Christian organization in some respects. I hate to say that even goes for any kind of corporation at all, because they do have their all. Some of these places are less Christian than what they claim or whatever. But yeah, there was a big deal with Chick-fil-A a while back, and a lot of people were boycotting them for their, because they didn't agree with maybe their policies or their stance on certain views. So you can influence companies and corporations by not purchasing their goods, boycotting them, whatever. But you got, as a corporation, you got to figure, is this group that's boycotting me or not buying my products in the grand scheme of things, do they even make a difference in our bottom line, right? If they're small, then it's not going to make a huge impact on a corporation's sales if that group doesn't agree and boycotts or not and doesn't buy their products. Right? So you got to take that in consideration. I know a lot of times folks that are involved in this different activism and stuff like that, they feel like a lot of people should and do agree with them. So they might think that their group is bigger than what it is, when in fact it's very, very small. And it's kind of strange because you see that a similar mentality in larger cities. People in larger cities tend to believe that everybody on the outskirts or whatever believes that like they do and is into the same things they are and all this kind of stuff. And it's not true. If you look at most larger cities, they're more liberal. And the thing is, I mean, as far as how they interact with other people, they're actually in a small group. They're in a confined area, and you get people coming into these big cities from all over the world. So you get a lot of different diverse backgrounds, this, that, and the other thing. So they tend to be more accepting of different stuff, like different cultures and all that kind of stuff. But in the end, when it comes to cultures and stuff, there are some cultures that are better than others, that are more desirable than others. We'll get into that in future RiB episodes. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so second, embracing certain social and political causes may lead to increased costs for the corporations, such as investments in diversity and inclusion programs. So there's an additional cost right there when corporations invest in diversity and inclusion program. That costs them money, right? So now they got money flying out the door. Nonsense bullshit flying out the door. Fun money just going away. Or the adoption of more environmentally friendly practices. Well, when that's good. I mean, obviously you don't want to pollute and all this kind of thing. You do want to environmentally friendly practice being taking place at your workplace. I mean, that makes sense, right? But yeah, some people get really wild, like activists and stuff. These costs may not be immediately offset by any potential benefits or increased revenue, leading to a short-term loss. Excuse me. But yeah, short-term loss, right. The fact of the matter is, yeah, it's going to give you a short-term loss. But in this is Chat GPT. So I'm using some AI right here to assist me in this broadcast. And people are going to have opinions about that. I do as well. But it is a decent tool for what I'm doing right here, right now. It says it's going to lead to a short-term loss, which makes sense if they're spending money on these different programs for diversity and inclusion program. Yeah, it's going to affect their bottom line once again. But here's where it kind of gets weird here. Here's where it takes a twist. However, it's worth noting that there is also evidence to suggest that embracing social and political causes can have a positive impact on a corporation's financial performance. Really? Well, there's some obvious things. I mean, if your concern is about child labor or terrible workplace conditions and stuff like that, fixing those issues would be great, and that would be good for a long-term success of a company. But spending money on some of these programs as diversity programs and stuff like that, no, it's not good. it's not good for the long term of a company. Because it's something that shouldn't be brought to the workplace at all. Obviously, if you find someone is acting unethical at a job place, so you've got human resources and things to deal with those sort of folks. You've got hotlines in most cases. You can deal with those type of things. So, yeah, I'm not buying some of this shit. Let me see. Ultimately, the impact of wokeness on corporations' financial performance is likely to be complex and depend on a range of factors, including the specific causes being embraced, correct, the company's target audience, and broader social and political trends. So I think that's where some of these companies are getting into trouble right here. And they're following social and political trends. Because here's the deal, not all these social and political trends are good. Not all, just because you've got a small group of people yelling and screaming about a certain topic or whatever, doesn't mean that it's you need to embrace whatever garbage they're spouting, right? It doesn't work like that. So yeah, there you go. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy stuff right there. Wokeness. Yeah, it's really affecting a lot of your corporations right now, your companies, and it's affecting your politics as well. You've got a lot of people that are upset about maybe what people say or do, and they're trying to cancel them. How do they cancel them? And that's not good either, because once you start canceling, I mean, you go down that rabbit hole, I mean, where does it end? I mean, really, where does that garbage end? It doesn't end well, I don't believe. It doesn't end well. Because once you start canceling everyone, I mean, who decides what we can say and do and whatever? You start getting rid of, trying to get rid of basic rights and whatnot, just because you get offended over what someone says, It's not good. I mean, we're going down a path right now where, and actually, well, it depends a lot who is who's in the position to regulate things. Who, like, if you're the CEO of a corporation like Twitter or YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and you have the idea that this woke stuff is great, it's wonderful, and you need to ban, cancel, whatever, anybody that speaks their mind or whatever. That's not good, because you've got millions of people that go on these platforms, and they are just, they're just trying to go on there and do their thing. And then you got somebody that's higher up, that's an activist of some sort, and trying to cancel them, whatever. It makes it tough. I remember there was this one guy, Owen Benjamin, and he's a comedian. He's actually from my hometown, believe it or not, and he was censored. They actually he made some sort of, I think he did like a tweet a long time ago talking about like criticizing a parent who was in favor of I don't know, chemically castrate. I think they're gonna have, give their kid like a sex change, like a little kid or whatever. And he spoke out about that, and he got basically canceled. He got thrown off, I think, Twitter. His agency that represented him fired him. His wife had an Airbnb in her name, and she got chunked off Airbnb, and so he lost his PayPal, all kinds of things. And it was because of this basically wokeism, and people who are running these different companies, trying to, put the hammer down and censor and cancel people, that don't agree with what, with them essentially. So yeah, it's a crazy thing. I don't know, but let's do this. Let's put on these stupid glasses. And what I want to do is go into what is going on in the mainstream. Mainstream meaning, when I talk about like mainstream media and things like that, I'm talking about like Fox, CNN, MSNBC, and all that sort of thing. Because it's fun. You've got these different organizations, and they all got their own agendas. They even are involved in some of this wokeism shit. That was good. That's very good. Look at ETA. Let me bring them up here. Let's see. Let me show you guys. Go with this. Yeah, this is great. I'm kind of fumbling and bumbling around a little bit, but that's okay. We'll get it. We'll get it eventually. Believe it. We will get this. I think we'll start off with Yahoo. And you're probably wondering, like, why does he even go to Yahoo? What kind of nonsense is this, Will? Well, it's funny. I mean, I'm involved in I like fantasy football. I like football. I like all sports, pretty much, for the most part. And so I play fantasy football, and we've had a team. I've had a team for like years in a fantasy football league, and we use Yahoo as our platform for that fantasy football league. We've done it for years, and we probably could change off or whatever. But so I have to, when I log into Yahoo, I've got to see this bullshit on their landing page here, and it's usually just garbage news and stuff. But let's see what they got today. Let's see what some of these different headlines are. A steep price to pay for refusing Putin's call to war. So there you go. You gotta have the Ukraine Russian war and stuff. And that's a whole separate topic altogether. We could get into all that stuff in a later date. But essentially, what we're doing is we're sending Ukraine billions of dollars. Meanwhile, we've got people sleeping on the streets here and stuff. Homeless folks, people that need assistance in some sort of way. People, I mean, whatever. And we're sending billions of dollars over to the Ukraine. And you think that that's the only conflict that's going on in the world right now, but there's a lot of other conflicts as well. But this one, I guess, is near and dear to our heart because we can kind of use it as a proxy sort of thing to where we can go in there and have the Ukraine use our equipment and different things against Russia. I mean, kind of to see how it works, see if it's good stuff, right? There you go. That's how this stuff is. It's so weird. But anyway. All right, so let's see some of these other topics here. ESPN apologizes after fans call out Skyline error. Okay, who gives a shit? ESPN. Do you guys know that they're owned by Disney? Yeah, Disney owns ESPN, and so there you go. And that's. I wonder if that's the reason why ESPN is gone exceptionally woke. Huh. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys. And also, I'll let you know too. If you have any views of your own, if you have any comments or whatever, yeah, just go ahead and jot them down there, and I'll address those. I'm sure I'll get some trolls on here as well. We'll deal with those people appropriately. Tragic NFL star 2-year-old daughter drowns in home. That's sad. That's not good. Survey shows 1/3 of U.S. nurses plan to quit. Wow. Okay. College baseball player shot during game in Texas. That sucks. You're there to play a game. You're there to have a good time with your buddies and stuff. You know, representing your school. Get shot. It's not good. Let me see. Where'd that happen at? Texarkana. Right on the Texas-Arkansas border. Texarkana. Makes sense, right? Baseball player shot apparent stray bullet during home game. Oh, boy. That sucks. Let me see. A baseball player for Texas A&M Arcana was shot while standing in the bullpen during a home game on Saturday. The Texarkana Police Department posted to Facebook on Saturday evening that it was apparently investigating the circumstances of the shooting and that it appeared he was struck by a stray bullet from some type of altercation in a nearby neighborhood. Yeah, that must be a shit neighborhood right there. Yeah, it's not good. You're in the bullpen. You're excited. You get ready. Yeah, he's throwing the ball around and gets shot. That sucks. So that you'll see a lot of oh gosh, normally you'll see quite a few news headlines regarding any types of shootings or whatever going on, because at the end of the day, certain people don't want you to have any way of defending yourself. You know, they don't want you to have a weapon of any kind, especially a gun. And I get, you know, they do have some valid concerns as far as like, yeah, it sucks that people go out and get a gun and terrorize folks, shoot them, all this kind of stuff. But again, too, there's a lot of instances where you do need self-protection. For instance, like if your grandmother, she was home alone, and some jackass that just got out of prison comes over and is trying to break in her house. By the time she calls 911 and the police get there, all kinds of bad stuff could have happened, right? But if she has a shotgun or whatever, she can defend herself, right? She doesn't have to be as physically tough as the guy trying to break in. She has a a great equalizer, right? So there you go. Let's see, what do we got here? Let's tackle your retirement. So there you go. Don't face retirement planning alone. E-Trades Professionals. Look at that. An ad by E-Trade. Look at it. So some of these are sponsored, right? So some of these are sponsored. E-Trade Security. Yeah, there you go. Oh, lifestyle. Introducing 2023 SI swimsuit model Padma Lakshmi. Can you? I'm bad. I'm bastardizing all these things. So yeah, we got the swimsuit model. Does anybody even care about that anymore? I remember back in the day, guys would get nuts and they'd buy Sports Illustrated swimsuit issues, and you know, they get all excited and stuff. I don't know if anybody even cares anymore. Oh, look at here. Celebrity news right here. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are reportedly leading separate lives. No, they're not getting along so well. We got to know that. So, see, that's some of the more nonsense news that I'm talking about that's out there. Who gives a shit? I literally don't give a fat fuck about those people. Like, I guess if you have nothing going on in your own life, you can use these people as your way of I don't know, getting entertainment, or maybe trying to lead your life vicariously through them or whatever. I have no idea. I don't think that they're that interesting. I get it. He's a royal and all that kind of stuff, but it's retarded. Let's see. McDonald's menu brings back iconic fan favorite after 8 years. Ooh, what do they bring back? Let's see. Burger King. Wait a minute. Continue reading. Do I have to pay to continue reading on this, or are they actually going to let me read it? Oh, they're going to let me read it. McDonald's has 10 iconic billion-dollar brands, according to Chief Executive Christopher Kempis, Polish guy. So sorry if that offended you. I don't give a shit though. Think products like the Big Mac, chicken nuggets, and egg McMuffin. Whatever. I don't even want to. Anyway, their food is straight up shit. It's trash. I mean, you don't want to be eating McDonald's food. Let's put it that way. Unless you want to get fat and you don't want to feel good and all that sort of stuff, then eat tons of McDonald's. Go to McDonald's every day. They do have salads and stuff there, but I don't know. I haven't ate McDonald's anything. I don't even know how many years. 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years. I have no idea. I don't eat their shit. Okay, then we go to, a father-daughter incest ended in murder, The Haunting. That's terrible. And see, a lot of these headlines, they're going to try to get some sort of reaction out of you, right? They're going to get you to feel some sort of emotion. And that's how they keep you engaged. NFL Draft 2023 grades. Eagles lead top team classes as Cowboys Lions flop. Okay. Yeah, if you're a sports fan, I guess that's interesting. What is this here? Oh, here's another ad. You see, I got ads placed in here. There you go. So this credit card is worth its weight in gold. No, it ain't. No, it's not. Sports. Buffalo Bills signed veteran running back to add depth, strength, and short yardage. Okay, they added Latavius Murray. Again, unless you're a sports fan, you don't really care. What do we got? We got Joanna Gaines. I'm a designer, and here are my faves from Joanna Gaines Summer Collection at Target. Okay, Chip and Joanna. That's great. Yeah, I guess she's got quite a selection of products at Target. So, and I also think that they do paints and stuff as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think I've seen those somewhere else. I can't remember where I've seen those. So if you guys wonder what I'm drinking here, this is water from my ETA. This is a portable filtration system. It's very cool. It actually gets rid of a lot of harmful things that are in your water. Chlorine, fluoride, different garbage like that's in your... I put tap water in here. I mean, you could actually fill this up with some pool water, pond water, river water, whatever water, and drink it, and it's going to make it so it's beautifully clean for you and filtered. It also increases your water up to 9.5 pH, which is good. All right, back to here. Entertainment. Michael J. Fox says it's very possible he did some damage in the 80s. What damage did he do in the 80s? Michael J. Fox said it's very possible he did some damage in the 80s as he speculates about what contributed to his Parkinson's disease. Oh, wow. Yeah, so everybody knows he's got Parkinson's. He suffers from that. And it sucks. It makes him so it's like he doesn't have good control over his motor function so much. He shakes and does different things. But yeah, it sucks. Let's see. What else do we have here? Celebrity. In my decade in Hollywood, I've never encountered a worse human being. Ooh. See that? People are talking smack about each other in Hollywood. You guys need to know that. It really matters. Again, if you got stuff going on in your own life, this stuff doesn't matter at all when it comes to Hollywood bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's just them. You see, the more it's talked about, I mean, people get excited because they watch folks on TV or in the movie theater or whatever, and they feel like they know them. You know, they get interested in different celebrities and stuff. But yeah, let's see. After testing doesn't... Okay, so, I mean, if you're very bored, only boring people get bored. Let's put that out there right off the bat. If you get bored, you might tend to surf pages like this and I don't know, read the different articles or to pass the time or whatever. But there's better ways to passing your time. There really is. Oh, what's this one here? Michelle Obama steals a show at Bruce Springsteen concert in Barcelona. Huh, that's incredible. Imagine what he stole the show. Huh, amazing. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, check this out. Let's go over to CNN. What kind of things do they got to say? Let me see. I'm wondering if maybe they've got a lot of Trump news. Usually they like to talk about Trump. That's helped them apparently get ratings in the past. It got people excited one way or the other at one time or another. Let's see what they got to talk about now. Oh, let's see. Florida's fight with Disney escalates as board votes to sue entertainment giant. So let's see. The dueling lawsuits. Disney sued the board last week. Follow 14 months of escalating tensions over a state law that restricts the teaching of sexual orientation and gender identity in schools. Right. Reading, writing, arithmetic, some science shit, whatever, some history. Teach that in a school. Leave the rest to the parents. You know, I know some of these teachers. I mean, there's a lot of good teachers out there, a lot of great educators, but there's a lot of fucking trash educators as well. Like, they've got their own agendas and whatnot. I remember my boys, they were doing homeschool during the pandemic shit, and I remember sitting in on one of their classes, and this fucking teacher, this fucking idiot lady, she's on there, and she goes through their lesson and everything. They do the whole thing, and then at the very end of their class, this big notice shows up on the screen, and basically it's inviting them to an after-school program or after-school gathering of some sorts, and it's basically talking about like sexual orientation stuff and all this kind of thing. And at the time, these fellows were in, I think, let me see what they're in. I think they were in the 7th grade, 6th grade, or whatever. And I'm like, they're not even thinking about that sort of thing, right? Just because it's on her fucking mind, they're not thinking of that sort of thing. You know, that's far from their mind, right? But here's the deal. If you start introducing them to it, the concepts of it, and getting them interested in it at that young age, you can maybe sway them one way or the other. Okay? Sway them one way or the other, get them thinking the way you think, trying to shape their mind in a fucked up way. So I ended up contacting the principal and saying, hey, this is what your fucking teacher's doing, and I don't appreciate it. You know, my boys, they think about Legos. They're thinking about playing video games. They're thinking about those sort of things, you know, hanging out, you know, doing fun stuff. They're not thinking about sexual orientation shit, you know, especially at that young age. I mean, what? But again, you know, that person was an activist, right? But anyway, so I got a hold of their principal, and next class, that advertisement was not there. It was gone. So there's a win right there. And here's the deal. I know a lot of conservatives across the nation, they don't like to speak up. They like to just you know, let things work themselves out, or they won't agree with certain things, but they won't say anything. They'll just kind of keep quiet because they don't want to get into a big fight, or they don't want to have any kind of confrontation or combative situation. But you have to. You can't be a fucking pussy all your life. You can't be a sissy. You can't just keep your mouth shut. Now, with that being said, what are we doing right now? We are live streaming on YouTube, right? And you've got people up at the top of YouTube and whatnot, and a lot below it, that are woke people. And so you got to be pretty careful on what you do or say on here, right? You're on somebody else's platform. I get that. So you kind of have to abide by their rules. You're playing in their sandbox, so to speak. So you kind of got to watch what you say, sort of. But as far as being silent about a lot of these things, I'm gonna watch sort of how I say things, but I should be able to get my point across pretty good. I'm gonna try not to go overboard, where I'll get my channel like taken down or whatever. But I just can't shut up. A lot of our content on the Ranch Network is very vanilla, very sponsor friendly, very ad friendly. But being generic in like the Jimmy Johnson of YouTube, right? Jimmy Johnson, NASCAR driver, very vanilla in his approach, very sponsor friendly, which is great, whatever. But it provides like a false sense of reality for people that watch or listen or whatever. They think that since nobody is talking about certain topics or issues, that they must agree with everything. And that's not the case. Just a lot of people are just trying to keep their head down, do their job, do what they need to do during the day, take care of their family, try to live a good life, and stay out of the conflict and the turmoil. But sometimes you can't do it. When the nonsense is overwhelming, the shit hits the fan, you got to speak up. You got to say something, So we'll just kind of be aware of how we say things or whatever. Because I know people are going to get upset with some of the things I've said already. Just let me know in the comments how upset you are, so you can be fucking dealt with. Anyway, let's see here. So what else does CNN got as far as some of their breaking news stories here? Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. Okay. So, let's see. Suspect in Texas massacre had been deported 4 times after entering U.S. illegally, ICE source says. I'm surprised that's even on CNN's website. Right? I'm figuring that they're in support of illegal immigration and stuff, which isn't. Well, anyway, that's weird, huh? I'll be doggone. I can't even believe it's on here. I really can't. They must have let that slip, because normally in the past you would never see that on there. Ooh, what is this? The beloved walrus was controversially euthanized. See how she's being honored. What? That makes their front page of their website? A walrus being euthanized? Oh my God. This is crazy. How a case from fishermen may change how the U.S. government operates. Okay, whatever. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Breaking news. Senator Ben Cardin will not seek re-election. Okay, I guess if you're into politics, that's interesting to you. What else do we got here? My Pillow CEO still claiming 2020 and 2022 elections were stolen. Are you trying to say that there was no shenanigans? I mean, we've seen it. It was, especially in Georgia. You know, you've seen that footage, folks adding ballots in there and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's see, they're trying to make him look like he's crazy, right? Let me see. After months of legal wrangling, the Hunter Biden paternity dispute has escalated. That guy's a fucking piece of work, right? Everybody knows his shenanigans by now. We've seen enough of it with the laptop and all that stuff. Him and his crap. What a POS. Oh, let me see. What else do we have here? The tear gas is so heavy I can barely breathe. CNN Paris correspondent. What is that? The tear gas? Somebody getting sprayed or what? Ooh, that's CNN Paris correspondent. And you have to ask yourself, I mean, is this real? Did that really happen? I've seen. I wish I could find it, but it'd take too long. I remember watching a video where a CNN correspondent was out in the street during the riots and stuff that were going on across the USS. I say USS. The US a while back. And they were out in the middle of the street, and it looked like there's a bunch of protesters, all kinds of stuff going on. And what it was is actually kind of like a close set. Everybody was close in and everything. They were getting a close shot. But when the camera backed up, you could see that there's only a couple people there. And they're, yeah, it was totally staged. It was total work. Oh my gosh, CNN correspondent. I don't know. I'm not even going to read. I don't want to give these people too much attention, even though I have to, sort of, right now. What else? Opinion. It's time we brought this monarchy nonsense to an end. Oh, what, they want to get rid of the monarchy in England? Let's see. A state of emergency is in place in Virginia Beach after a tornado. Judge denies Trump's motion for mistrial in battery case. So, yeah, I don't know. Is this information that you guys want to know? Do you guys want to know all this info that they've got like on CNN? Does it even matter to you? I don't know. I don't think I could just go through here and just read everything that's on here. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Over here on the right-hand side. Comedian jokes about Donald Trump and roast President Biden at WHCD. Oh my! Could they even put that on here? Don't say you roasted Biden. That's not good. Aerospace. That's funny. Well, it's weird. You know, here he is. He's our president, right? But he can't even string together two sentences. But yet he's the president. If other presidents have done that in the past, if they were in the same mental state, people would be up in arms. They'd lose their shit. So it just kind of shows how far we've fallen so far. But anyway, there's CNN. Let's go to Fox. Let's see what they got to say. They should be talking about Hunter Biden and stuff a lot. That's what they do. That's all they can do. All right, Senate Democrat won't seek re-election. Plans to retire after spending decades in politics. Again, who gives a shit? Unless you're in that person's state or whatever. What is this one here? President's son appears at hearing over child support case of 4-year-old daughter. See, that one makes it towards the top. Assistant principal allegedly beaten to the ground by students rushed to hospital. There you go. That wouldn't happen. That didn't happen so much in my day. Back in my day, a teacher would, you stand up to a teacher like you're gonna fight them or something like that. You're gonna get your ass kicked. I remember, let me see, Principal Campolita. He was a former boxer, and that guy, you're not gonna go up to him and talk shit, right? Some of these teachers, I remember this one guy, Mr. Negelschmidt. big dude. I remember one kid acting like they were going to hit him one time, and he took him off to the side there in another room, grabbed him by the shirt collar, and let the kid know that, that's not going to fly. But you can't do that these days. The fact of the matter is, anytime a kid gets in trouble in school, it seems like people want to call the police and stuff and bring the cops into it. It's gotten ridiculous. You can't do anything these days. It's hard for these teachers to maintain any kind of control in their classrooms. The only way that they could do it maybe now is if they start hiring security to stand in the back of the or sit in the back of the class. It's ridiculous. Chuck Todd clashes with presidential candidate how do you even say this fucking guy's name? Vivek Ramaswamy on gender. Okay, there you go. Clashing over nonsense shit here. Let's see. Elite boarding school admits it botched student bully case that ended in suicide. That sucks. Yeah, bullying's a bad deal. Bad deal. Biden's quiet attack on rural America smells just as bad as manure. Here's the thing. I mean, do you think that he's fucking people? All right. Do you think that he's initiating a lot of these shitty policies and stuff, these shitty programs? Do you think he's writing any of these bills and stuff? No. He's a fucking moron. Like, at the end of the day, he's a moron. I hate to say it about our president, but he's a moron. So don't really blame him for things. He's not running anything. He's literally not running anything. I guarantee it. If you think he's running, you're wrong. If any of you guys think that Joe Biden's running anything, let me know. I mean, he can sign off on stuff. I imagine he still has the cognitive function to do that. But he's not running anything. People believe he's not. What is this? Beast swarm family during photo shoot. Sting mom over 75 times as she protects kids. Wow, that's tough. Bees suck. They can get you. Usually around here, we let them pollinate everything. That's wonderful. Let's see. We don't have much problems with bees at all. We kind of like them. But, of course, we're not getting swarmed by them or stung 75 times either. What is this? States revolt against Biden. Admin's disaster mortgage redistribution rule. Okay, there you go. Again, he's signing off on it, but he's not initiating anything. I guarantee it. Middle tax class hike. Yeah, right. Anyway, a Yellowstone star reveals what she knows about future season 5 amid show drama. I guess if you follow that show, you watch it, that might be interesting to you. It's funny. Look at that. It says, that's wild. Who gives a fuck? I mean, really. DeSantis-backed Florida Tourism Board makes big move to counter-sue Disney. Ooh, they're going to counter-sue Disney. Anyway, yeah, that whole thing. I watched a lot of his news conferences. They seem pretty good for the most part, whatever. But the thing about it is, once you get to a certain level, president, so on, so forth, you don't really get to make a whole lot of your own decisions, right? You've got to work with people. And in most cases, I believe they have to probably play ball. If they don't play ball, they're not going to last long. So let me see. You've got special interests. You got corporations, stuff, lobbying continually. Okay, this is just my opinion. This is kind of what I think, just based on trends and just observing what's going on. I think corporations, especially like Big Pharma and things like that, they've got a lot of influence in our government, like a lot. What bills are passed, how they're being passed, how they're written, all that sort of thing. And I don't know how it's ever going to stop, because it's all a matter like social engineering and things like that. And, they can get dirt on different people and then influence them to do whatever they want, to do their bidding. You can buy people off. I imagine there's a lot of congressmen and senators who have made a lot of money in the past by maybe knowing certain financial information and buying certain stocks and things that have gotten them very wealthy, right? So that's funny too, because it wouldn't be like you're taking a direct contribution from a certain corporation if you went and just purchased their stock, right? It's not like you're getting it, like that. It's kind of more of a sneaky, underhanded way of doing it. So yeah, they're getting like inside information. Tell me it doesn't happen. Tell me it doesn't. You guys let me know. Just tell me that doesn't happen at all. Tell me how. I'd like to know how people making a certain amount of money, what 100 and some thousand maybe every year, are in Congress or senators in the Senate. How do those people who are making like 100 grand or so a year wind up multi-millionaires after a few years? How does that happen? I guess they're just good at stocks and stuff. They're good at investments, real good. They've perfected it. Let's see what else we got on here. ESPN personality suggests NFL thinks its fans are racist. Raised theory on rule changes to favor white players. There we go. Again, guys, just fucking play ball. Throw the ball, run into the end zone. Right? And if there is something that's provable, if there is a provable issue, then deal with it. Go through their HR department or whatever. Do file a claim, whatever. But to just talk about it continually, it makes it worse than what it is what it does. And a lot of it's very unfounded. So it's a lot of bullshit. See, Aerosmith announced its farewell tour as Steven Tyler faces sex abuse charges, health concerns. There you go. Dream on. Who gives a shit? Once again. Police officer, wife found dead after double shooting. Ugh, that's bad. Let's see. Yeah, they've got... Oh my God. Yeah, so there's just a lot of stuff. And it's basically the news headlines that you would expect to see on Fox for the most part. Look at that guy right there. Mayorkas claims Biden admin not at fault for migrant crisis. Says this is the real problem. That fucking guy. Oh my gosh. He's got to be living in hell, because I've watched different videos with him getting roasted by different folks like Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, and he just sits there and does his best to defend it in such a way that his lawyers had trained him up to do. I want to say it was like $3 million was paid to a law firm to help coach him so he could go into these questionings and stuff and respond, to where it's not going to make the Biden administration look totally horrible, So yeah, isn't that wild? Like $3 million allegedly. So yeah, I remember he wouldn't admit that there was a crisis at the border, even though fentanyl's coming in and all kinds of other bad stuff's going on. People just come. It's never good. And you could think of it like this, for you fucking people that think that, oh yeah, people should just come right on in. It's okay. It's a free country. Like fucking the biggest morons ever. Listen to this. Do you fucking leave your door unlocked at night? What happens if the guy walking down the street wants to come in and have a sandwich? Is that okay? He's hungry. Why wouldn't you feed him? What the fuck's your problem? Why are you such an asshole? You won't fucking feed the guy. He's just walking down the street. He should be able to come right in your house, right? Anybody just walking down the street, or pull up to your house, just walk right in. Why do you need a lock on your door? What's your problem? What are you, some sort of bigot or something, or racist or some shit? You got to have a fucking lock on your door? What an asshole. Just cut it out. But yeah, that's the same thing. So you don't let people just walk in over the border. You don't know who's coming in and whatnot. Obviously, you know, you're not trying to violate these persons' like human rights or whatever. They come in, they just got to go home. Don't come in. Or, you have a nice way to block them from coming in. You know what I mean? Put something up there that they can't get by so easily. Just like anything else. I mean, you could have a lock on a door and somebody could pick the lock or whatever. You could have a wall up, a fence up, and people are going to go around it somehow. But it makes it much more difficult. Right? And matter of fact, it makes it a lot harder. So anyway, that's enough of my rant about that. What else? KISS co-founder blasts parents for normalizing gender reassignment for kids. Panthers Matt Corral shares cryptic message after team drafts Bryce Young. Whatever. Some of these things, I don't know. There's Biden again. Look at that. You got Joe up there. Reporters' response to Biden's re-election comments leaves nothing to the imagination. I don't even know. How could he even? I don't know if he's going to run for re-election or not. I don't know how he could. Like I said, he can't even string two sentences together. I mean, I could barely string two sentences together. I'm not going to be fucking president. Come on now. This guy, he's worse than I am. So, I don't even see how he can do anything. Pretty soon, they'll wheel him in on a dolly. He'll be like stiff as a board, and they'll just put him in place and maybe have some supports and stuff strapped to him, and like a tripod, like hook a tripod onto him. He'll be like this, he'll be like, and that would be his responses to things. I don't know how he can do it, because he's fried right now. He's got dementia or whatever, allegedly. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing based on what I see, in the news, or what I see in videos, what I see in front of my face. He's just not there anymore. He's just not there, folks. We got some Elon Musk news way down here. What is it here? Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey changes tune on Elon Musk's purchase of the platform. Who gives a shit? Jack Dorsey, he's a fucking dickhead anyway. Here's another thing you got to watch out for too, folks. And this is the big one here. You guys that are awake, not woke, but are awake, should know these things, but I'm going to go over them just in case you don't. Let's do this here. Let's go back to our chat GPT and check this out. Okay. So, obviously, there's a lot of issues with AI. A lot of people are afraid of it. A lot of people think that it's going to lead to the singularity. A lot of people think that AI is going to take over, and I could see where it could, right? Because if it starts learning, right, which it is learning, but if it starts to become like aware of itself, which it might already, I don't know, it might be like that already. I don't know, but if it does, what happens? Since it's connected to the internet, what happens if it starts shutting down vehicles? What happens if it starts changing street lights? Streets, like you're going, all of a sudden get a red light, traffic lights, it starts changing traffic lights. What happens if it starts going into your bank account and draining it? What happens if it does this? Because everything's attached to the internet, and different devices can be controlled off the internet, What we're doing now is controlled, through the internet. You've got access to it. Somebody could shut me down, I guarantee it. No problem. It's crazy. So yeah, people's concerns over AI and its ability to do potential bad things, they're pretty valid. I think it's pretty valid. It's a valid concern. So, when it comes to your mainstream media. You know, we've seen some different examples, like on Yahoo, CNN, and Fox, of different stories, different headlines, things that would get you, I don't know, things that will get a response out of you, things that will make you feel a certain way and whatever. Yeah, they're trying to get you to click on it. I get it. You have to sensationalize what's going on in life to make it like super like, whoa. Because if you don't, folks will just watch a YouTube video. Folks will watch some other sort of content to get their news. I get it. So you have to do these things. But at the end of the day, it's not good. I mean, it's better just to, maybe hear some good news or whatever, some good truthful news. It's not a bad thing always to hear about news that's not so nice if it's true and it's unbiased. So one thing we have to watch out for, and it's hard. I mean, how are you going to watch out for this? But I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or not, but so here we go, right there. We'll bring this up. Let's go right about there. So there have been allegations that the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, has infiltrated the mainstream media in the past, but it's difficult to know the extent to which this has happened and to what degree any such infiltration has had an impact on the news media. Well, I think it's had a lot of impact on the news media. Here's the deal. If there wasn't people in this organization that was involved in the mainstream media, I don't think we would have some of the propaganda and stuff that's being put out there, right? Like I said, this organization has a job to do, and basically what it is to fuck over, the people of the United States and conduct, whether it be conducting experiments on them allegedly, or to allegedly profit off them by selling drugs and stuff, narcotics to them. You can watch a lot of different videos or whatever on like Gary Webb and things like that. I mean, these people are involved in all kinds of bullshit, and they all say it's national security. Yeah, bullshit. They've got agendas and things like that and bullshit that they got going on. They're a fucking terrible organization. Anyway, in the 1950s, the CIA did have a program. Oh, 1950, yeah, in the 50s. Well, yeah, it's not going on today. The CIA did have a program called Operation Mockingbird, which was aimed at influencing the media to promote the agency's views. Where is it here? Let me go ahead and push this up a little bit. The agency's views and objectives. The program involved recruiting journalists, editors, and other media professionals to disseminate CIA propaganda and gather intelligence. Right. So in the guise of gathering intelligence, they'll push their propaganda and do all kinds of other nefarious bullshit. However, the full extent of the program's activities is not known, and it's not clear to what extent it was successful in influencing the media. I think it was very influential. I think allegedly, people say, like Alex Jones and stuff, say that Anderson Cooper is a CIA operative, allegedly. Anyway, what does that even mean? Since then, there have been occasional allegations of the CIA using its influence to shape news coverage, but it's difficult to determine the veracity of such claims, and many of them remain unproven. I mean, how are you going to prove some of this stuff, right? No, you can't. It's hard. It's very hard. You can only kind of read between the lines in whatever news article that you're reading. Try to figure things out. Why this person wrote this. Do they have a bias? Are they trying to influence me to think a certain way? Whatever. It's important to note that a free and independent media is a vital component of a healthy democracy or a constitutional republic. and any attempt to manipulate or control the media is a threat to its ideal. The media has a responsibility to report the news accurately and objectively without fear or favor, and to hold those in power accountable. No shit. Wow. That's very enlightening, isn't it? Imagine if that was the case. So, yeah, a lot of shenanigans going on out there, folks. So, let's see here. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. It's like living in a cartoon sometimes, you know? It really is. Let's see, let me get rid of this and this. And let's get back to full screen. Let's get back to this full screen, folks. Boom, boom. Okay. So, that's just some of the things I wanted to cover today on the RiB, the Ranch Intelligence Bulletin. You know, I used to say the Ranch Intelligence Report. I used to goof it up all the time, you know. But I'm not running for president, so don't worry about it. So, the Ranch Intelligence Bulletin. If you guys want to see me do more live streams like this, look at it. I can't even string 2 damn words, 2 sentences together, 2 letters together. Like, again, I'm not running for president. But if you want to see me do more ribs, just like this video, comment down below, share it with your friends. And if you have any other topics you want me to address, let me know. And yeah, thanks for stopping in. And remember, controversy is king right here on the RiB.